Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 450. I am Brennan. UFC Fight Night, Dern versus Hebos prelims, all right? There's going to be Felipe Bunes versus Jose Johnson. The rest of the prelims are going to go through all those fights, break them down round by round. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. The next video is coming out, as you can tell. If you didn't listen to my main card video, my voice hasn't fully come back yet. I'm still a little under the weather. I'm doing okay. But anyway. If you guys are new to the channel, I appreciate y'all for joining me. Like I said at the top, I tend to do fight breakdowns of everything. I break down every single fight on the card, go through them round by round, and I'm glad you're joining me for 2025. So let's get into some of the fights. Felipe Bunes, like I said, oh yeah. Also, if you're looking for the main card, it's in the last video. All right, Felipe Bunes taking on Jose Johnson. Jose Johnson missing weight by 2.5 fucking pounds. Not okay, man. It's not okay. Sorry. I'm keeping a tab of all the fouls and wins and things like that. I've been doing that for a year and a half now. It's just unacceptable. I don't care if it's short notice or anything like that. 2.5 pounds. You either tell them you can't make weight or you just don't show up. Like, you can't do this stuff, man. 20% is not enough. He did end up losing this, so it's not good for that either. Johnson landing that hard right hand. Bunes going for the takedown. Can't really do what he wants with it, but he does land a really big, some big right hands. Bunes goes for the takedown again, but get kicked off and then reversed. Goes for an armbar, but Johnson walks the wall. Beautiful sequence, lots of scrambling, deep armbar attempt. Then he gets stuck in it again and again and again, and Bunes finally gets the finish. Beautiful finish by armbar there. Very unorthodox with all the sequences that went through, but he ended up getting the finish, so that was good for him. All right. Ihor Potieria taking on Marco Tulio. Potieria missing weight by 2 fucking pounds as well. Yes, guys, this is how we're starting the year, all right? Fouls, bad calls, people missing weight, sloppy bullshit. And then people be like, well, at least we got the smaller gloves back, and then people are not getting knockouts again. Like, that doesn't make things better when you see some of this shit that we're seeing, man. I mean, if an uneducated fan can watch stuff and be like, something ain't right. Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Then we have a problem. Tulio landing with hard low kicks and hard lead hook up top, and Potieria landing that the counter lead hook as well. Tulio is more active with the offense, and then Tulio knees him in the nuts, all right? Knees him in the nuts, and then they take a very, very, very long break. It's over 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. And then right back when they get back to it, Tulio lands with a hard right hand and a couple more. A big right hand putting Potieria down and gets some bullshit TKO after clearly affecting the fight with a nut shot. New year, same old bullshit. After I wrote this down, after not watching MMA for the better part of a month and then coming back and then I see things like this, it makes me think, what am I doing? Why am I wasting my time watching this stuff when the people who run the organization that's supposed to be the pinnacle of MMA, the pinnacle of modern fighting sports, don't take themselves seriously? Because if they took themselves seriously, they would do something about this. Because there was, again, no fucking point deduction. It's just frustrating. As a relatively long-time fan, okay? Yeah, I wasn't watching in the early 90s because I was fucking 3, okay? I missed it. I missed the first UFC because I was 2 years old. Sorry. My bad, right? Have I gone back and watched it? Yes, as an adult. But I wasn't around then. I wasn't the target audience when I was growing up in the 90s, okay? So, as a relatively long-time fan, watching damn near every single fight for the past 15 years now, almost 15 years, I think I have noticed this enough to say, this is unreal. Hey, it's just unreal that we're still dealing with this in 2025. The very first card of the year. And I'm not saying that, if they attempted something and they did it wrong, they would be above reproach or that it would just be right because it would be different. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if they had attempted something, we could at least commend them for trying something different. And then what they would have to do is adjust it. They adjusted for the rules of kneeing to the head of a grounded opponent. They've adjusted that like 4 fucking times. Not fast enough, in my opinion, but like they've adjusted 4 times. I think they've worked it out now where it's relatively understandable and it's fine. But you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this where you just allow people to commit fouls with no repercussions, because that's exactly what this was. Now, had you taken a point, do you think that this would have changed the outcome of the fight? Probably not. Not in this case. But you can't just do this anymore. Thiago Moises versus Trey Ogden. Boy, this was a tale of 2 fights, essentially. Trey Ogden just coming out, looking amazing, doing what he wants, and then Moises just sticking to the game plan, finding a path to victory, and then executing. Moises going for those hard low kicks. They're both on the outside looking to land low kicks, and Ogden able to land the jab. Ogden is landing more now, getting up on the numbers, and Moises needs a big shot to get the round back in his favor. But the best shots from him were those low kicks, and those just aren't going to win you the round just from landing 1 or 2 of them. Well, as the fight went on, he started to really dig him in. Ogden getting around the guard with the lead hook and following up with the kicks and the right hand. Beautiful stuff. And Ogden putting it together as the round went on, getting out in front, getting more active, outlanding 36-12. Excellent round for Ogden, up 10-9. Second round, Moises lands that low kick on Ogden, stepped weird on it. Ogden right back to where he was in the end of the first round. Low kick puts Ogden down after he took a bunch of damage, and Moises kicks it while he's down, but goes into his guard, and that's the rest of the round, able to just control him. He did strike with a little bit on the ground, not a ton of damage, but something. 32-19 in favor of Moises. 19-19 going to the third round. Ogden needs to stay on his feet, can't get taken down, but Ogden gets the takedown, gets to the back, but falls off the side. And that's a shitty way to lose the fight because he falls off to the side and is on bottom, can't get out. Moises, like I said, just finding a way to win, finding a path to victory, and executing. Great fight from Moises. Tough break for Ogden. Still look good, especially in that first round. Preston Parsons versus Jacobe Smith. Boy, we don't need to look up stats for this one. These guys are swinging hard. Smith landing with the low kicks, coming over the top with that big right hands. Parson landing the right in tight with the elbows. And then Smith lands a left hook, and Parson goes down, and it is over. Both guys looking to end the night, and it was just whoever landed first. Smith landed faster, and he landed first. Nicolle Caliari versus Ernesta Kareckaite. I heard it pronounced like that multiple times. I hope it's Kareckaite, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correct. All right, Caliari able to land some hooks, and she is throwing very hard. Kareckaite keeps getting in tight, which is stupid because she has so much reach, and she's not using the clinch well. She's just fucking falling into it. Kareckaite finally finding the mark with some slick striking, landing well with the 1-2s, but again falling into the clinch. Kareckaite is doing a good job ducking the hooks and countering now, avoiding being held down, working back up right away multiple times. Close round with Kareckaite really landing more damage down the stretch, making up the difference, in my opinion. Outstruck her 27-21. Control time 1 minute and 49-34. Relatively inconsequential. I wouldn't say that played a huge role in how this round should be scored. If you could argue it, but I think you're making a bad argument. Second round, Caliari throwing naked low kicks and getting countered, and Caliari finding the mark with some hooks, and Kareckaite landing with the cleaner shots down the middle. Caliari getting the takedown stuffed and ends up on bottom for a bit, then they get back up. Kareckaite landing the long left hook up top and going to the body with it really well. Kicking up the middle well. Caliari is being forced to fight her way off the fence multiple times, always behind the warning track. Better round for Kareckaite from the first one, outstriking her 36-24. Excellent round for her. Clearly her round. There is no way you can give this to Caliari. Third round. Some shots are landing for both women. Hooks and some low kicks from Caliari, and Kareckaite with the straight right and a big left hook and the hooks to the body. Caliari finally gets a takedown, just not any damage for the 30 seconds that she was in control with it. It should be a win for Kareckaite here. Outstriking her 32-22 should be her round. Let's look at the judges' scorecards and see if they screwed this up. Oh, my goodness. All right. Mike Bell gave the first... Okay. All right. So we're going to start this year off talking about the pinnacle of judging in the eyes of John Anik, and that is Mike Bell. He will forever be held accountable for saying that he knows more about... he has forgot more about judging, and he's... you couldn't find a better judge than Mike Bell. So you are forever responsible for saying that. You said it. Then you should stand by it. Mike Bell gave that first and last round to Caliari. First round, I understand, actually. First round, relatively close on the strikes, 6 strikes differential. Maybe you think that Caliari landed some harder strikes and you gave her the damage edge, although I disagree. I think Kareckaite did more down the stretch. But if you gave her that round, fine. Last round, no. The only thing she did that round was hold her down for 30 seconds. Everything else, all the damage went in favor of Kareckaite. See, Saul D'Amato giving that first round to Caliari and the second two to Kareckaite, and then Ron McCarthy giving the first two Kareckaite in the last round to Caliari. He is just as much to blame as Mike Bell. That last round was not. Go back and watch it. If you just go off of like normal 1990s, early 2000s bullshit scoring, you could be like, oh yeah, Kareckaite, she got taken down, so she loses that round. But if you're a modern human being who with like a little bit of knowledge, you'd understand that the damage Kareckaite did was more. So that's the end of that one. Fucking ridiculous. Magomed Gadzhiyasulov versus Bruno Lopes. That name looks like a nightmare because it is a nightmare, Gadzhiyasulov, but it's not too bad to pronounce. Both guys plotting and looking to land big shots. Lopes going for that double, settles for the clinch against the cage, and again and again. Not a fan of the shots. Not a ton of the shots landed, and I don't know if Gadji did enough. Lopes 10-9. I'm not a fan of this round. Right, Gadzhiyasulov did outland him 15-4. I don't think he did that much damage with them though. I think that might be misleading. I guess you could give him the round because of damage, but I'm saying though, I don't think it was so apparent that he did more damage and he got controlled the entire time. If you gave this to Gadzhiyasulov this round, I totally understand. I gave the first round to Lopes. Second round, Gadzhiyasulov has some really slick strikes with some decent kicks, but gets pushed back to the cage again. But for some reason, he went for the takedown, and then Lopes stops it and presses him back to the cage. Finally, Lopes gets a single leg, doing a little damage, but they get right back up. Gadzhiyasulov still throwing big shots, nothing really landing. Lopes finding the mark with some elbows in tight and keeps control of him. Gadzhiyasulov just didn't get anything going this round. Got outstruck, outgrappled, outcontrolled, everything you want. Outstruck 17-9. Out the control time nearly 3 minutes to the 14 seconds of Gadzhiyasulov. So clearly Lopes' round. Last round, Gadji's overswings again. Gives up his back, but able to score him out of it and still stay on his. But he's still on his back feet this entire freaking round. Lopes doing a great job keeping the pressure on, keeping the fight in close, in tight. Lopes with a few takedowns in this round and should get the win here. 12-7 for striking numbers in favor of Lopes and outcontrolled him 315-0. I'm just curious, did anybody give him a 30-27? No, everybody gave Gadzhiyasulov that first round. Again, I understand that. I think I put an overimportance on there. Right? I just criticized them for doing the same shit, but when they consistently do it, that's the problem. I'm not perfect. I think I really didn't think he did that much damage. Viktoriia Dudakova versus Fatima Kline. Was this one interesting? No, it wasn't. Dudakova in on the takedown early, fights for it but can't get it. Right back up in the round, in a roundabout way, and get to the ground. Stuck in a leg entanglement, goes to the back, falls off, then uses the armbar to get position. They're back up again, right back down. Kline able to keep scrambling, get on top, landing some elbows. Dudakova goes for Kimura and gives up position, getting mounted. Kline able to do damage in this round. Dudakova landed almost nothing. 11-1 for striking numbers in favor of Kline. It was just control time for Dudakova, and she even had less of that. 240-140. Second round, Dudakova really wants to take down, but even when she gets it to the ground, she gets mounted again. Dudakova gets out and up and then right back with the takedown and then again ends up on bottom, and this time Kline gets to finish with the TKO elbows. She's like, I don't understand. I know that was her game plan coming in clearly, and it looked like her path to victory, but fuck, she should have noticed that this isn't fucking working, and I can't keep doing the exact same thing, but she did. Nurullo Aliev versus Joe Solecki. All right, both guys looking for grappling entries, and Aliev poking more. Solecki just kind of okay, just firing away on the outside. Aliev getting the takedown, just pushes into him. Aliev does virtually nothing on top. No warnings for stalling. That's how we start 2025. Just 4 minutes of I'm going to sit on top of you. Solecki, because Solecki was actively trying off his back. That's the problem. Because if he had just laid there like a dead fish, this round probably would have gotten stood back up. 10-9. Second round, Aliev swinging big hooks to get him back and then go right for the takedowns. Solecki gets a triangle locked in transitions, but nope, falls out of it. Okay, the UFC starts here with 10 minutes of this shit, because that's what it was. 4 minutes and 5 seconds of control time. So I think this is what we're going to see a lot, like a lot going forward, because this is a path to victory that a lot of guys can execute, especially when they're coming over for less than privileged places and getting paid fucking peanuts in American dollars, but what's a lot of money to them. Same method that soccer's been using for fucking decades. 2018, Aliev is landing a bit and Solecki not doing much damage with his, and we're halfway through this round of sloppy striking. Solecki gets the takedown and the right to mount with 30 seconds left, and you're like, holy shit, finally some fucking action. And then Aliev is just holding on for dear life as he's getting this shit beat out of him, or attempted. And Solecki wins this last round, but it's not enough. 29-28 in favor of Aliev. And he gets the win. All right, that is it for the prelims. I kept this video a little bit shorter because I did run long on the first video. So I appreciate y'all for stopping by. It means a lot to me. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way the next video is coming out. I'm hoping I'll have my voice back before the next video. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Love y'all. Peace.